Okay, so this is the final draft of my draft deck. Draft. It went through a few revisions from what I assume you've seen from the actual draft. I was splashing blue for Ashiok. Mistake. I'll talk about that. That's a lesson learned. Um, I'm gonna make the same mistake multiple times because I have a tendency to play mythics if I get mythics. Um, so this is the final draft. Let's just go through the curve and tell you where the changes came in. The big change right there was Ashiok came out, Crypsis came out. I think there was two return phalanxes in the main board, so the second return phalanx came out in lieu of just better cards. I think it was these two 5-drops here, which they were crucial. Um, so let's go over the 1-drops. We have the Tormented Hero, good aggressive black card on black-white aggressive, aggro. Black-white aggro deck. I didn't get Athreos, which I'm sad about, but I'm okay with it. This is a foil Pegasus. There's a lot of glare with my lights, but it's foily. So I got 2 of these. I picked them pretty high, I believe. I haven't seen the draft video, and I really should have before doing this, but tough and be prepared. I don't know, whatever. My 2 drops are separated into 3 sections, which is the bestow guys, the guys who come in on 2, and I'm okay with them coming in on 2, especially this guy, because I don't want to pay 5 to do +2/+1, which is stupid. This guy, I don't want to pay 2 for him. I don't want to play him unbestowed, because if I bestow him, I get extra value, because the reason I play him is so that my little guys can trade up to their fatty threats, and bestowing just gives me that twice. This one is a 3/2 for 2, and since I have 2 of the loyal Pegasi and just a bunch of low drop creatures, I'm going to be going very wide, so he'll likely be attacking a lot. I was wrong about that. But the loyal Pegasus has the evasion, so I can swing him with loyal Pegasus easily, and then swing him with this guy. This guy, since he has good stats, and if I bestow, I mean, by the time I bestow, hopefully I'll have good stuff. I mean, I don't run too much removal, so I don't think I'll be doing the Trixie bestowing this on their guy, so if they have no other guys, they can't attack, because danger. Anyway, Spiteful Return, favorite card, so favorite card. Back when it was Born of the God draft, I would first pick this a lot, because the effect is just perfect. He's a 1/1 for 2, which is terrible. However, a 1/1 for 2 that attacks for effectively 3, that is really good. And then an enchantment for 4 that will give your guy +1/+1, and also give him the deal 2 damage. Lose 2 life clause. Lose 2 life and deal 2 damage, I think, is only relevant for things like lifelink, but not relevant for me. So giving your guy effectively +3/+1. Very good. I like it a lot. I'm super happy that I got past to me. I'm super surprised. I talked to Vincent later, and he said he took a fall on the hammer over that, which I understand. And if you've seen that game again between me and Vincent, you'll know that he plays mono removal. It's so silly. These are in the section of, I guess, normal cards. Not bestow guys, and not silliness that I'll talk about later. So we have the Oresco Swiftclaw, a 3/1 for 2. Great stats. Daring Skyjack stats without, being a Daring Skyjack, because, that'd be just too, that'd be cool. Battalion, nice. This is the return phalanx, not a centaur. By the way, no 4-drop here. It goes 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, blank, 5 drops. I drafted bad. The next draft I did, I forgot to draft low drops. I had on my like 1-drop was a null, 2-drop was voids then, and then I started doing stuff on 3. But that's so irrelevant. Why am I talking about that? Return Phalanx. This is a good card. just raw stats is 2 for 3/3. It does have defender, but it can attack if you activate it. Now, when I did my cut of blue, I went a little gung-ho with cutting blue, and I cut all the islands out, forgetting that, you know, Return of Phalanx has a blue activated ability that is extremely relevant for me because I like attacking. And that felt terrible because in one of the games against Vincent, I had about almost all my lands out. I was down to 6 cards, so it was like turn 27, 25, 20 something. So Return Phalanx couldn't attack for a while. He was just sitting there. Ate a Crabma Warcaller, which I'm happy about, but had things been different, my game would have been maybe faster, maybe ended quicker, maybe he would have ate a removal instead of my Keepsake Gorgon, which, you know, he has a 2-for-1, but definitely worth it. You know, I'm not going to go into the math of how much of 2-for-1 that was, you know, because I tapped all my mana, and blah, 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 I lose my monstrosity. If you haven't seen that, watch that. It was really good, like, you know, most intense match. Well, not super intense because we were just in top deck mode and being held impressed, but it was definitely, it was nerve-wracking. So that's that card. That explains the next version of it, which has 1 island. So this is the final version because it has 1 island. Really worked in game 3 when my opening hand was 1, 1, 1. So that's sorry, these are planes. So it was 1 swamp, 1 plains. It was Esper colors, and I friggin' got there. So the last part of my 2-drop slot is Blood Crazed Hoplites. Blood Crazed Hoplites are fantastic. I got 4 of them, and you don't get playsets in Limited unless they're like freaking Boulderfall or some other terrible card. Back in Theros, you know, you have 3 Boulderfalls sit in your sideboard forever because your games end at 7. Like, come on now. Blood Crazed Hoplite Heroic. That's kind of why I left Crypsis in the first version, but 2 for 2/1 is not the best stats in the world. However, 4 of them makes it for very consistent games, and consistency is always a good thing. I'm sure there's a better reason to run a playset in Limited. However, I can't think of it right now. But holy crap, I got 4 of them. I think three, at least 2, but maybe 3 of the 4 had wheeled around the table. And Vincent, again to my left, who passed me the Spiteful Return when we were passing right, but when we were passing left for Journey to Nyx, he expected these to wheel back to him, and I cut him. So that's awesome. Let's go into 3 drops. That shouldn't be there. I'll talk about that later. 3 drops are Felhide Minotaur. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Nyxborn Eidolon, super underwhelming. I said I didn't want to bestow him. I barely want to play him. Because he's the same stats as Blood Crazed Hoplite, except he's an enchantment creature, which in my deck gives me no advantage, and basically just makes him more vulnerable to removal in this set. So he's the first to get cut when sideboarding. Like, he gets cut for Dark Betrayal or something like that. The second card to be cut, well, the second and third of these 2, they're pretty underwhelming. But let's start here with 3-drop Felhide Minotaur. He's a 2/3 vanilla creature. He fits on my curve. That's all I can say. He attacked in for 2 last game, or for one of those games. Good job, guy. Now this is a beast. He never he never came to his full potential because I think he only came out in a game in that top deck mode game against Vincent. So yeah, he attacked for 2 and then next turn got removed immediately. Freaking Jesus Christ. When he enters the battlefield, up to X target creatures each gain Intimidate and Haste until the end of turn. I very much plan for him to... I think in the round 1, which I was unable to go record because I'm bad at this, he came in and he swung in for lethal. But I'm not sure about him. Oh no, I'm very sure about him, but he didn't live up to his. He didn't go the distance, as they say, and they being me, I say that a lot. Whoa, 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 whoa! Computer thinks I am going to sleep. So this is the last of it, which is the Nyx-born Shieldmate as a 1/2, a very depressing creature. As a bestow, still not great. He's cute when you bestow him onto the 2/1 because the heroic will trigger and it makes it a 4/4, which is like, you know, turn 2, Blood Curse Hoplite, turn 3, curve into Nyx-born Shieldmate, bestows, and then you swing it for 4 on turn 3. That's cool. But outside of that, this card sucks. I don't. I'm not really big on heroic. It's just the Blood Crazed Hoplite that activates heroic. I'm more just on the aggressive end, and this has the opposite stats. It's a 1/2. It's a defensive creature. It's a shield mate. Let's see. I put it onto a Sky Speaker Cavalry as a top deck, just to, you know, get final damage through. And I mean, that's exactly what I need to do. It gives it +1. Sometimes it will give it plus. Well, it'll always give it +2, but sometimes the +2 to toughness will be relevant to help my guy survive. But very underwhelming. I had to actually like hard cast him for 1 in a game, and I was like, attack for 1. It didn't make a big difference. The top end of my curve. Let's go from. I don't even. These are all just very good cards. I don't. These two double white cards, which I'll talk about. They were not in the original draft, or you know, the original version of this deck because I got greedy and I splashed for Ashiok. That's just a 3-shot. Come on, Ashiok. Slash for Ashiok. Ashiok didn't do anything, and just the inconsistent mana base really hurt me. Like, you know, I had black and island when I wanted black and plains, that kind of thing, or, you know, swamp and plains. So I take it out. I only run 1 island now, and I get to go deeper into these white cards that are very good. I drafted these very high. I know I drafted this very high. This, I'm pretty sure I drafted pretty high. Let's go with Supply Line Cranes, which is a 2/4 for 5 Pillar Field Ox stats. Although it's flying, so, you know, the extra white for flying, I'm okay with that. And then it ETB effect of put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It helps my little guys out. You know, it gets them through sometimes against the, you know, if they can't get, if the math is off by 1, then it gets them through. It can just go onto himself, makes him a 3/5 flyer for 5, which then becomes just good stats. I mean, come on. Since I run 4 Blood Crazed Hoplites, if I put the +1/+1 counter on Blood Crazed Hoplite, it will actually activate the second ability, because the heroic puts a +1/+1 counter on it, but then the second ability is not tied to its heroic intrinsically, so whenever a +1/+1 counter is placed on Blood Crazed Hoplite, remove a +1/+1 counter from target creature and opponent controls. So you can either get the +1/+1 counter from the heroic trigger, or you can get +1 from things like the Supply Line Cranes. So that's very interesting, and I like that. It's a very good card. This card is Sky Spear Cavalry. Effectively the reverse, kind of. Yeah, let's say effectively the reverse stats of that Supply Line Crane, which is a 2/4 for 5. This is a 2/2 double strike for 5 flying. So I think of it as a 4/2 for 5. And those stats are just fine. 4/2 with evasion is good because the problem with small butt things is that it doesn't dodge. It can't get through, but this can. And since I bestow quite a bit, you know, with these fools, with that guy, and that's all. He can become stronger, and then double strike get double the value, obviously. Keepsake Gorgon, I can't say enough about this guy. He's a 2/5. I mean, by the time I get to 5, if I haven't won the game already, or if I'm not swinging for lethal, then I need him, because I will then need to start blocking. And if I get up to 7, then I will very much likely need to destroy a creature. So he's good. He's placed exactly where he needs to be. 2/5 stats, death touch, all the jazz. He's been around since the Theros block first started in Theros sets. He's been strong then. He's been strong since, and I have no complaints about him. Now, here at the bottom, I have cards that do not belong on my curve, such that I don't want to play them on curve. I want to play them at the most opportune moments. For example, let's talk about Cast into Darkness. This will sit in my hand until if I'm on the aggressive, this will sit into my hand until I know I can swing for lethal. Or if I'm on the defensive, I'm really sad because that's not what the deck does. But if I'm on the defensive, I'll pick the right moment to put this on. Like, I put it on a 2 and X toughness because I don't really care what the toughness is. But this is good. Do I have any constellation triggers? Nope, don't care. Do I have Feast of Dreams? Nope, don't care. So yeah, it just does that. Phalanx Formation. This card never showed up, but the plan was Phalanx Formation cost 3, 2 and a white, and then Strive for 1 and a white. Any number of target creatures gain double strike at the end of turn. That is a fantastic trick. If I have 5 open, I hit 2 guys, double strike both of them. If they happen to be, my 2 of my 4 Blood Craze Hoplites, they also get the counter, the +1/+1 counter. So, really good blowout card. This is removal. I passed one in the draft. I don't know what I took over it, but then a second one came and I couldn't pass it up. I had to take it. It's really expensive, but for its effect, I just need that. The Viper's Kiss. In one of the games that I didn't record, I was able to Viper's Kiss a Opaline Unicorn early, and that actually just shut him down because the opponent was stuck on 3. Cast the Opaline Unicorn, hope to curve to 4, which is Karametra's Acolyte, or the 1/4 that is the mana producer. So this shut him down for 3 turns, and that won me the game. Let's not do that first. Hold at Bay. Hold at Bay is a great card for people who play Heroic, and no one else. Hold at Bay is really good if you play Heroic. It'll save your guys, it'll activate Heroic, it'll combat trick. It does quite a bit. And sometimes it'll prevent you from taking lethal damage. It's not something to laugh at. Glimpse the Sun God is very good, such that you can target your own guys. You can target your own creatures after having declared attackers. You can do it after having declared attackers before blockers are declared, if you want to get through, which is a lot of what my deck's going to need to do, which is get through. So that's why those are there. And that's the deck. This is a deck tech video, I guess. I don't even know how to end this. Let's stop the car.